Muy buenas a todos, y sí, estamos a punto de empezar otra nueva aventura Pokémon. Esta vez vamos con Pokken Tournament, y es que... bueno, toca conquistar la Liga Ferrun. ¡Vamos ya!
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Nia.
Mucho gusto, igualmente, eso es.
I'm one of the battle trainers here in Ferrum. I battle alongside my trusty partner, Weavile. Have you ever seen a Pokemon this cute? I doubt it.
Bueno, creo que a mí y a todos se nos ocurren algunos ejemplos. Unos cuantos. Tirando a muchos, pero vale.
Oh, he's just sleeping over there. Don't mind him.
Ajá.
You must be the interesting new trainer I heard about who's about to join us. How about I show you around and stuff?
Por mí estupendo.
Right then. First things first. Welcome to the Ferrum Battle. Here in Ferrum, you'll need to work as one with your partner Pokemon and face off in some intense one-on-one battles. After you finish your trainer registration, you'll be given something called a Battle AR. It has a synergy stone built into it that allows you to synergize with your Pokemon in battle.
Vale, creo que me he perdido. ¿Piedra de sinergia?
But hey, we'll get into the details later.
¿Qué piedra de sinergia?
You've got a whole bunch of new experiences awaiting you here. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what sort of trainer you turn out to be.
Ajá.
I'll give you whatever assistance I can, so just try to have some fun out there. Right then, let's get you registered.
Vale, tengo que utilizar el Gamepad, mi tabletomando favorito. Escribe tu nombre de entrenador. Eso es fácil. Y ya está. Aostar. Por si alguien no lo sabe, mi nombre es Aostar. Mucho gusto. Bien. Ajá. Chico. Bueno, no es que se pueda elegir... no hay una gran variedad, así que... Espera, ¿no puedo ni elegir el color del pelo? Venga ya, pero qué poca variedad. Bien, puedo elegir el color de los ojos, pero no el color del pelo. ¿En serio? A ver, puedo elegir el color de los ojos, pero no el color del pelo. Vaya, esto... es un poco chocante. Pues ya está, pero... es curioso, puedo elegir el color de mis ojos, pero no el color del pelo. Es curioso. Bien, esto es lo importante. Mi compañero Pokémon. Bien, a ver. Bien. Blaziken, Pikachu, Lucario, Gardevoir, Pikachu enmascarada, Braixen, Machamp, Gengar, Sceptile, Chandelure, Suicune, Weavile, Charizard y Garchomp. Vaya, esto es... es complicado. A ver, es muy complicado. Blaziken tiene estilo. ¡Jo! Y tanto que tiene estilo. Pikachu es Pikachu. Vamos, ¿quién no quiere a Pikachu? Lucario... bueno, Lucario... ¡jo! No se me ocurre nada malo de Lucario. Es simplemente perfecto. Gardevoir es preciosa. Pikachu enmascarada... bueno, es Pikachu solo que enmascarada. Braixen... bueno, hay que reconocer que... que tiene estilo, evidentemente. Machamp no me llama lo más mínimo. Nada. Y Gengar... jo, por favor, ¿quién no quiere esa sonrisa? Es Gengar, por favor, esa sonrisa... vamos, quien no siente nada al ver esa sonrisa es que no tiene alma. Ni corazón. Sceptile. Jo. Sceptile es otro de los grandes. Chandelure, nada. Suicune... me encanta Suicune, pero... no me llama nada. Weavile tampoco. Charizard, bueno, es Charizard. Con eso lo he dicho todo. Charizard es Charizard. Es que es Charizard, punto. Y Garchomp, ¡jo! ¡Qué máquina de matar! ¡Ah! ¡Qué horror! Bien, no sé a quién elegir. A ver. Blaziken, Lucario, Gardevoir, Sceptile, Gengar, Garchomp o Charizard. ¡Jo! Pues no me quedan pocos, a ver. Uno de vosotros es mi compañero. ¡Ah! Pero no es tan... Bien, a ver. Es difícil, es muy difícil elegir. La belleza de Gardevoir. El estilo de Lucario y Blaziken. La sonrisa de Gengar. Garchomp, Charizard y Sceptile. Jo. Maldita sea, no me lo puedo creer. ¡Ah! Es muy difícil, pero creo que... Sceptile, te elijo a ti.
This is the Ferrum region, where we are now. It's a huge island surrounded by nothing but the ocean itself.
Bueno, yo no diría que es inmensa, pero vale.
Ferrum battles are super popular here, if you hadn't already guessed. The types of battles differ a bit from city to city, so I'll just give you the short and sweet version. To start off, right now we're here in Old Ferrum Town. It's also known as My Town, and here you can check your battle data and change your settings, stuff like that. Don't worry, whenever we head to a new area, I'll give you the rundown. I've got your back.
Ajá.
Next up is right here, Ferrum Stadium. This is where the Ferrum League is held. This is a single-player mode where you battle your way to victory in the official league. Next up is Tellertown, I suppose. Here you can join in casual matches against CPU opponents.
Espera, ¿qué?
When you want to battle against your friends, you should head over to Selen Island. There, you can battle using the gamepad and one additional controller.
¿Eh?
And then there's Neos City, where you can battle against online players from around the globe.
Ajá, vale, Ciudad Neos, de acuerdo, ya lo pillo.
Oh, right. I forgot one other important place.
Deja que lo adivine. La ciudad en la que pone práctica.
In
Oh,
Tekken
si es que soy un
City,
genio.
You can learn all sorts of stuff about battles and practice a bit too. I'll give you a nice little walkthrough in the tutorial. Alrighty then. Guess I went on a bit longer than planned, but that should be just about everything.
Ajá.
Feel free to start off wherever you want, but
Pero, ¿por qué siempre habrá un pero?
I think you might be best off heading to Tekken City to play through the tutorial and learn the basics of Ferrum battles.
Ajá, esto no tiene nada que ver porque tú impartas un tutorial, ¿no? ¿Nia? Bueno, pues primero vamos a ir a mi zona.
You can check your play data and change a number of settings here. You can equip items you've obtained or change your title. And you can change your battle Pokemon and support set too.
Oh, interesante.
Whenever you get something new, you should drop in here. And in options, you can change the sound and controller settings. Be sure to give it all a try.
Vale, estadísticas, perfil, Pokémon. Ajá, vale. Reparto de puntos de habilidad, Pokémon de apoyo. Ajá, de ayudante, muy bien. Pues nada, vamos con el tutorial.
Here, you can learn about Ferrum battles and practice as much as you see fit. In the tutorial, I'll teach you all about battling from the basics. In free training, you can use a number of settings to practice however you see fit. I'd recommend starting off with my tutorial. Oh, right.
Sí.
You can use the pause menu during battle to check your Pokemon's move list. It's pretty useful, so make sure to use it.
Ajá. Bien, vale, muy bien. Pues... tutorial, ¿no? Fundamentos, técnicas útiles, técnicas avanzadas. Bien, Pues nada, empecemos por lo básico. Fundamentos.
Choose your Pokemon.
Un momento, por favor, que está cargando. Y cargando. Y cargando. Oh, ya está.
In this course, I'll teach you all about the basics of the game. Now then, what shall we start with?
Bien, empecemos por los movimientos.
Alrighty, I guess we better start off learning how to move.
Si no sabemos hacer esto,
Go
mal
ahead and
vamos.
try moving your Pokemon. You can use the plus control pad to move around the field. You can also jump with the B button. If you press in the same direction twice on the plus control pad, you can step forward and back or side to side.
Entendido.
Okay, let's move on. Next up, we'll learn how to attack. Press this button to use long-distance attacks. Long-distance attacks are called ranged attacks. Try to land a few ranged attacks.
Ya, porque, como ha dicho, comúnmente se llama ataque a distancia.
Nicely done. Next, press this button over and over again. You'll launch an attack that'll chase down your opponent.
Vale. ¡Mola! Muy bien hecho, Sceptile.
Nice.
Muy bien.
Keep it up. Alrighty then. Now here's the important part. All battles consist of two states, field phase and duel phase.
No lo
At the
pillo.
start of the battle, where we are right now, is field phase.
Ajá. No lo pillo. Vale.
And this is duel phase.
Bien.
You can tell which phase
A
you're
ver,
in by
no lo
checking
pillo.
here.
¿Qué tiene que ver una fase con la otra?
Now then, how do you go about changing phases?
No, lo que me pregunto es qué tiene que ver una fase con la otra.
If you land a certain type of attack, you'll shift phases. Let's check out this demonstration.
Vale, eso espero, porque no lo pillo. Ah, vale. Ujú. Vale.
Alrighty, now try to shift to duel phase. Try to hit your opponent with this attack. Okay, now you've changed the phase. In duel phase, you can dish out some serious damage, but close quarter combat is risky too. Here's where the real battle goes down. But you'll need to be careful. The way you move around differs a bit from field phase. Let's practice moving around in duel phase. By pressing forward twice on the plus control pad, you can perform a forward dash step. By pressing back twice on the plus control pad, you can perform a backward dash step. You can jump using the B button. In duel phase, the action is highly varied.
Tengo un compañero con estilo. ¿Cómo se nota que es Sceptile? Vale, volver a la fase
Land
abierta.
a sudden attack on your opponent, and you'll shift from duel phase back to field phase.
¡Oh, oh, oh! ¿Cómo ha molado eso?
You can also just land a bunch of hits and...
Vale, entendido.
send them flying back into field phase like this. someone with wits like yours has probably already figured this out, but battles will involve shifting back and forth between field phase and dual phase.
Vale, puedes moverte libremente por el amplio escenario, en la fase abierta, cambio de fase. En el combate cuerpo a cuerpo, bueno, cuerpo a cuerpo puedes infligir más daño, pero no hay quien se mueva. Oh, vale. Así que eso, vale.
We'll talk more about how to use the synergy gauge later on.
Escudo, bien. A ver.
Ah, right. I forgot to tell you. You can block by pressing the R button. By blocking, you can all but completely defend against your opponent's attack. Alrighty, let's try to block an attack. Just hold down the R button and you'll be fine.
Bien, pues nada, pulsemos R. Y ahí está el escudo. Toma ya.
Whenever you're in a pinch, just press the R button. Don't forget.
Ultra sinergia, toma ya, qué nombrecito.
All right. Keep an eye right here on the screen.
Vale.
This is your synergy gauge. Your synergy gauge will fill up as you land or take hits. Once your synergy gauge is full, try pressing the L and R buttons together.
Vale, vamos a ver. Toma ya.
Your Pokemon used its synergy
Showtime.
burst. Your Pokemon will be superpowered while it's in synergy burst. Wreak havoc with synergy burst. You can use a burst attack once during every synergy burst. Try using a burst attack.
Vale, a ver. Impresionante.
Land a hit to deal some huge damage. You definitely don't want to miss your chance.
No me lo digas dos veces. Bien, ahora vamos con técnicas útiles.
Which Pokemon are you battling with?
Vamos a cambiar a la sonrisa de Gengar. ¡Gengar! Esperando un momento, por favor. No cambien de canal ni hagan nada. Volvemos en un instante. Pues espero. Esperando. Y ya está.
In this course, I'll tell you all you need to know about battles and teach you some techniques you can put to use right away. Press this to perform a long-distance attack aimed forward. It's great because you can use these attacks to shift into dual phase, even from a distance. This is what you'll want to strive for in field phase. Try to land a few
Me encanta
more
cómo
ranged
sonríe
attacks.
Gengar. Y esa risita de malo. Ojo. Es Gengar.
Nice! Press the X button while jumping in field phase and land a hit and you'll cause a phase shift.
Esa es la risa de Gengar. Oh, cómo mola esto, por favor, cómo ha molado.
Try to land a jump attack.
Vale. Oh, así que ese es el ataque, vale, ya lo pillo. Toma ya.
Keep it up.
Cómo ha molado eso,
During dual phase, if you land a hit with the Y button, press the Y button rapidly.
En resumen, dale caña, dale al botoncito, bien. Así me gusta Gengar. ¡A por él! Dale al Lucario, dale pero bien. No es que sea el nombre más original del mundo llamarlo Poke Combo, pero me mola. Es el Poke Combo. O más bien Gengar Machaca. Poke Combo. El contraataque, bien.
A counterattack absorbs an incoming attack and quickly dishes out a counterblow. Time it just right, and you'll be able to strike back at your opponent.
¡Oh!
Use counterattacks in both field phase and dual phase.
Eso ha sido una pasada. Pasada.
Try to counter your opponent's attack.
Por favor, cómo ha molado. No. Ahora. ¡Ja, ja, ja! ¡Ish!
Perfect. Latch onto your opponent and land blow after blow. That's what grab attacks are all about. By using grab attacks, you can break through your opponent's block.
Vale, y la pregunta es ¿cómo se usa? ¡Ay, ay, 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 ay! ¡Qué movimiento más hermoso, Gengar! Por favor, Gengar, eres de lo que no hay, Gengar. Eres de lo que no hay, Gengar. ¡Qué grande que eres! Eso ha dolido.
Use a grab attack on your opponent.
Oh, vale, así que bien. Un momento.
Nice. Counter attacks beat normal attacks. Grab attacks beat counter attacks.
Vale, tampoco es que sea tan complicado.
And normal attacks beat grab attacks.
Lo dicho, no es que sea muy complicado.
Basically, this attack triangle is like a fancy game of rock, paper, scissors.
Triángulo de armas. Bueno, triángulo de ataque en este caso. Lo de triángulo de armas lo he sacado de otra cosa, pero triángulo de ataque, sí, dejémoslo en triángulo de ataque.
This thing over here is called the support gauge. Your support gauge will fill up as time passes. And once your support gauge is full, press the L button and try calling in a support Pokemon. It'll come in and use one of its Pokemon moves to help you out.
Vamos a ver.
During the planning time before each round, you can switch out the support Pokemon you want to use. You can choose which support Pokemon you want to use from your active support set.
Vale, tiempo de preparación, elige un Pokémon de apoyo, puedes cambiarlo en cada ronda. Entendido.
You can select a support Pokemon that suits your battle strategy. Or maybe even select a support Pokemon that'll help you out against a particular opponent. Support Pokemon come in 3 different types: Attack, Disrupt, and Enhance.
Ataque, sabotaje y mejora. Mola, vale.
Attack type support Pokemon come in handy when you want to deal out damage and push your opponent back.
Bien, creo que ya nos hacíamos la idea.
your opponent's movements. Sometimes they can even counter your opponent's attacks.
No es por nada, pero creo que ya nos hacemos a la idea. Y dale.
Support Pokemon will power up your Pokemon or heal some of your HP, things like that.
Sí, por si alguien no lo sabía.
Pick a support Pokemon that suits your playstyle, and be sure to use it when the time's right. Sometimes, when you use support Pokemon, your battle Pokemon will receive a status. These statuses include positive statuses and negative statuses.
No me digas.
First things first, positive statuses. While you're under the effect of a positive status, you'll get some sort of advantage.
Bien, estados positivos y estados negativos, por si alguien no lo sabía.
For instance, Eevee will give you a positive status that grants you a temporary increase to your attack.
Ese Eevee, sí señor.
The effect depends on the support Pokemon, but things will be in your favor while you have a positive status. Next up, we have negative statuses. Get hit with a negative status, and you'll temporarily be at a disadvantage. Take Emolga, for example. He'll hit you with an attack that temporarily reduces your speed. Use these statuses to your advantage to get the lead in battle. Between rounds, I'll drop in to cheer you on.
Motivación. Los ánimos que te da tu ayudante al terminar cada ronda te sirven para rellenar el indicador de sinergia o el de apoyo. Y muchas cosas más. Vale, está bien saberlo, Nia. Muchas gracias. ¿Eh? Disculpa, ¿que hay técnicas de qué? Disculpa, ¿qué? ¿Que hay técnicas de qué? Vamos, que hay que ir a por las gemas.
Power on the field will disappear if you don't pick it up after a certain amount of time. Go ahead and pick up the power that appears on the field. The tide of the battle can really change depending on where the power appears on the field. Now, let me tell you a bit about each battle Pokemon's recommended actions. Why don't you try this out?
Vale, bola sombra. Dale caña, Gengar. ¡Toma, toma!
Nicely done.
¡Ja, ja!
Next, give this a shot.
Hipnosis. Cucú tras y Gengar te da por detrás.
Nice. All right, and now this.
Puño sombra, muy bien. ¡Oh! ¡Oh, por favor! ¡Qué preciosidad de movimiento! Gengar. Gengar, eres mucho Gengar. Así me gusta, Gengar. Bien, vale. Otro tutorial que ya está. Siguiente, técnicas avanzadas. Y esta vez, ¿por qué no probamos? Sí, vamos a probar a... Lucario. Esperando un momento... Esperando un momento, esperando un momento, esperando un momento. Esperando. Y ya está.
In this course, I'll teach you a few techniques that should help you out in battle.
Posición baja. Bien, vale. A ver.
During duel phase, press down on the plus control pad to enter into a low stance. While in low stance, press the Y button to use a quick attack. Press the X button while in low stance to use an attack to knock down your opponent. Try to land an attack from low stance.
Vale.
By pressing up on the plus control pad, your Pokemon will take a high stance. By pressing the Y button in a high stance, you can perform an intercepting attack on an airborne opponent. In a high stance, you can press the X button to use an attack that will parry low-to-the-ground attacks. Try to use an attack from a high stance.
Vale. Bien. ¡Oh, oh, oh! Me ha molado el movimiento. Nada mal y me gusta.
Now you're getting it. You can hold down the button to charge up your counterattack. You'll deal more damage, and you'll also get a combo for managing to land a hit.
Onda.
By charging up your counterattack, you can increase the amount of time you can ward off your opponent's attacks.
¡Wow! No sé muy bien qué ha pasado, pero ha molado.
Charge up a counterattack.
Vale, pues nada, vamos a cargar el contraataque.
During a counterattack, use the plus control pad and the R button to cancel and move into a step.
Me he entendido.
This is simply called a cancel. You can use counterattacks to deflect your opponent's attacks and then cancel.
Mola.
Try to cancel a counterattack. Piercing attacks are special moves that cannot be blocked by counterattacks. For example, counterattacks with a fully charged hold become piercing attacks. Your best bet with counterattacks is to take the initiative and get the first move in. In field phase, you can also hold the last hit of a homing attack to make it a piercing attack.
Toma ya. Bien, tumbar y levantarse. A ver.
Your Pokemon won't take any hits while knocked down. And it'll get back up on its own, too. But this will give your opponent the chance to move in for an attack, so you'll need to be careful. Depending on the attack, you may take some damage regardless of whether you had your block up or not.
Ya lo he visto, vale.
This is called block damage. But you'll never be KO'd by block damage. If you keep blocking against an attack, you'll notice that the block will start to turn red. If you don't release it, you'll eventually get hit with a guard break. When you're hit with a guard break, you'll be left momentarily defenseless. How many attacks you can endure before getting hit with a guard break depends on the Pokemon. Blocking is important, there's no doubt about it. But try not to get hit with a guard
Evidentemente. Ultra Sinergia 2, toma ya.
While in Synergy Burst, you won't be stunned from taking a few small hits. so you can move in for the attack without worrying about your opponent's ranged attacks one bit.
En resumen, Showtime.
Try to hit an opponent using a ranged attack with a homing attack. Keep it up. When your opponent uses their synergy burst, you'll want to try to use the X button for strong attacks to stun them,
Vale.
or grab attack to try to stop
Ajá,
them from
bien,
getting into any
entendido.
attacks. You can link up one attack with the next.
No, no tenía ni idea. Por si no se me ha notado, esto ha sido sarcasmo.
Let's try to land a simple combo. You don't have to master high-level combos right away, but it might be fun to try things out once you get the hang of battling. I'm sure you've already noticed that battle Pokemon all have different amounts of HP, right? On top of
¿sí?
that, how quickly the synergy gauge fills up and how long a synergy burst lasts also differ from one Pokemon to the next.
Pocos, normales, pocos, carga lenta, carga normal, ultra energía corta, media, larga, muy bien.
Crazy, right?
Sorprendente, yo más bien diría interesante, sí.
There are all sorts of different battle stages, and the battle arenas themselves vary slightly in shape and size.
Tamaño y forma, muy bien. Para gustos y colores.
Battle Pokemon all have their strengths and weaknesses, and you'll have to be ready to switch up your fighting style from time to time. As you battle, your Pokemon will increase its skill level.
Vale. Entendido, muy bien.
As you increase your skill level, you can apply those skill points to whichever skills you'd like. As your skills level up, you'll get all sorts of useful advantages in battle. Remember, you can switch out your skill points from My Town whenever you want.
Tutorial finish.
Bueno, creo que vaya. Ajá. Entrenamiento libre. Podríamos estar aquí haciendo un par de combates, pero nada. Dojo de práctica, dojo combos. Bueno. Curso especial y curso experto. No, de momento vamos a hacer lo básico. Ya hemos hecho lo básico. Ahora lo siguiente sería ir a la Liga Ferrun y empezar un par de campeonatos y conquistarlos todos y ¡boom! Conquistarlos todos. Qué bien me suena. Ajá, perfil de jugador, Sceptile, muy bien. Bueno, vamos a dejarlo aquí. Espero que os haya gustado y ya sabéis, hasta la próxima. Adiós.